Hello, welcome to another episode of Teachers Gist with Wumi Wealth. This is a platform for teachers by teachers, and what do we do here? We celebrate the unsung hero, share our best teaching practices, and also look into the innovative teaching strategies. On today's episode, you're going to have fun, you're going to enjoy the gist. I want you to sit back, relax, and look forward to all that we have for you today. So today I have somebody so special on the show today, on the set today. So her name is Adesola Awosanmi, a very, very beautiful teacher. Please join me, welcome her.
All right, thank you so much.
Miss Adesola, welcome on the show.
Thank you.
How
for
are you
having
doing?
Me. Very well, thank you. And
I'm glad you made it. You made it finally. So we'll just dive into the conversation already. Can you just give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Okay, my name is Adesola Awosanmi. I'm a child-oriented educator. And when I say that, I mean I'm particular about children, regardless of their background, regardless of their race, regardless of their religion, regardless of who their parents are. I'm a child-focused educator. That's who I am.
Oh, so I have a great person on my set today, right? So, but how did it start for you?
All right, that's a beautiful one because even as a child, I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Wow.
But you know how Africa is. Like, if you ever, in my own time, growing up, if you ever mentioned that you wanted to be a teacher, there are some people who would scream and, at it.
They look down at you,
yes,
so to say.
There was a time a neighbor called me and some of other children around. And she was asking us, what would you like to become? You know, we had some people say lawyer, doctor, and then when it was my own turn, I said teacher. And she was so angry. She was angry. She was like, teacher, of all things, you didn't say you want to be a lawyer. You didn't say, I was confused because that was what I actually wanted. That was who I want to become. Wow. So somehow, at some point, there was a disconnection because of what she said and because of what I wanted. So it was like a battle in my mind. Like, oh, is it that teaching profession is not good? What's wrong with it? All through school, I would check up on teachers and I saw that some were cranky, some don't dress well. So I thought probably that was our reason. Like, okay, then some were not making good money. And back then, because it's a different ball game now. Wow. Teachers are making cool cash. There's
something those people don't understand, and that's the fact that the teaching profession is the mother of all professions.
Very
right?
Correct.
So I'm glad that you are one of the few persons I've met that said, oh, they really wanted to be a teacher. And my biggest joy is that little dream you had when you were little, when you were a child, I want to be a teacher, and people laughed at you. Some people frowned at it, maybe your parents, your friends, and everyone. You are living in the reality of that today. And I'm so inspired that you followed through, and here we are today. Not just an ordinary teacher, but a teacher that is, that has the children in mind. And when you have children in mind, that's like you thinking of the nation, thinking of the world at large. So the other question I'm going to ask you again is, I read through your profile. I know that you are not just a teacher like that. As much as you love working with children, you have even gone to the pedestal of being an administrator of a school.
Yes.
Right? So how has it been for you? How has the journey been so far? That thing is not moi
at all. Okay, so the journey, a beautiful one, very eventful, so because I started off teaching as a class assistant. In fact, let me say I started off as a cleaner. Let me say that. Because at the time I got employed into that school, there was this school on GRA Keja. when I got into the school, I wasn't speaking well. I had issues with my tenses. You know, I could mix up is and was, do and does, go and went. And so the school owner at the time she said she was sorry, but she wouldn't want to keep me around the children for too long, for longer hours. So I should just go into the classroom, clean up, set them up for their meals, and then leave. Or I spend time with them while playing. But I shouldn't talk to them.
Oh, you know. My.
So that was how I started.
I think you should project your voice so that they can hear you well now, because you are the way you are sounding now.
But you know, at the time, even though I had low self-esteem, probably because of because I didn't have self-confidence. You know, I wasn't speaking well, so that affected me. I couldn't speak good English, so to speak, and then I was with children. You know, they talk, they like to talk, they want you to talk, but here is someone who is saying, I must not hear you talk to the children. So I was in between managing how to express myself to them. So most of the time I would just say a word or two or something very simple, just to get along.
What was your emotion like then?
Yeah, it affected my emotions. Oh yeah,
down,
definitely. But even though when I see them, I still smile. I play with them. I see, being with children is a safe place for me. They don't judge me, you know. So I find that place very comfortable because they don't judge. They would never, you know, they won't laugh at my tenses, and that was how it started. Then again, after that school, I went into about 2 other schools. And I applied for several other schools that I was turned down. But there was a particular school that didn't mind, you know, investing in me. And the school took me in. I was there. I was growing. I was learning. I was getting better. I was improving. I was working with the children. And I found out that the early years was my comfort place. It was a very beautiful place for me because you watch children who can't even hold pencils begin to hold, then write, you know, moving from not being able to do and doing so well, not being able to read and reading so well, comprehending, writing creatively, and doing all sorts of, you know, beautiful and amazing things. And yes, so I focused on early years for about over 10 years. I did that. Yes, even though I've had time teaching in the secondary and primary, but the early years is my comfort place, and I still enjoy it.
Wow, this is really inspiring. Like, your story is so unique. I can imagine all that you went through as a youngster then, as a young person, you know, just loving children. And I like the fact that you said children don't judge.
Yes, they
right?
don't.
Not like adults and all that. And I think we should do better. And you know, this goes to everyone. Don't look down on anybody, because right now, you know, there's an issue we had in school, in one of the school back then, where a parent went in and beat a teacher or a staff. So we heard that that person is not really a teaching staff, but maybe one of the support staff of the school. So your story is just, you know, something relating to that. Thank God for the person that did not give up on you, the school you went to where they didn't give up on you. But you know, this happened over and over again, where you see somebody young, a situation might have even caused them to go to that school to work, but then you leave the child, you leave that young person, and then they do the cleaning job for a while. If they can't cope with your insult and all that again, they find themselves back into the street. Wow, this is beautiful. I know you are not done yet. There's something else you want to say.
Oh yes, yes, because there's something else I want to say. Is just the fact that I was focused. I just wanted to grow. I wanted to be better. I wanted to find my place in the teaching profession, you know. And I would say that feedback helped me a lot. Most of the time when people give me feedback, some of them may think that they are making jests or, oh, look at you, look at you. But whatever the look at you is, I pick it, I write it down, then I start to work on it. There
you
was a
could have been
time,
the Jennifer of your time.
you know, oh yes. There was a time a parent walked up to me and said, "You're a fantastic teacher. You know, you have passion for what you do. You enjoy it, but you don't speak well." So I was not angry. No, no, no. And I said, "Oh, really? So what do you think I can do to be better?" And then she gave me a few tips. I wrote them down and I started doing it. And there was a day she attended one of the meetings in the school that I anchored. And after the meeting, she clapped. She clapped. She was just clapping. And I said, "What happened?" She said, do you know that you have improved so much?" And I said, "Thank you. Because you didn't keep quiet. You didn't make jest of me. You only came out to tell me the truth and you encouraged me to be better." And I'm glad today, even though I'm still learning, but at least I can put some is and words together and not mix them up.
As an am. So we can say right now that feedbacks from parents, from everyone around you has helped you improve yourself. And this we don't cease saying this, that the teaching profession is a lifelong learning. Like
Yes.
you keep learning. Even though you are good, you speak good English, when it comes to the teaching profession, you keep learning and learning and learning and learning. And I'm like, I can't say a man now, but let me say it, I humbly say that I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, this is the world throwing lemons at you, and what are you doing with them? Making lemonade. So this is beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to ask you again, you faced all of those challenges, you were able to overcome them. What have you been able to achieve with this teaching profession?
All right, that's beautiful. So, like some people would say, for them, achievement is less of material things and much more of impact.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same. Less of material things and much more of impact. So, for me, yes, I have material things. And sincerely, I'm sure you wouldn't want me.
We don't want you to declare your assets so that EFCC will not run after you.
So let's just put that in the bag and then focus on impact.
Yeah.
So success stories, like, you know, moving a child from not being able to read, being able to write, being able to comprehend, being able to learn, and then you're moving that child to a place of doing everything they couldn't do, even though sometimes their parents have given up, the societies have been, like I know of a child whom even the school had given up on the child. They were advising the parents on what to do, and then I met with the child, and in 4 weeks the story changed.
Wow.
So for me, that's a great achievement,
the
you know.
The impact of a teacher.
Yeah.
And I think with that, I would say that every child is actually an achiever. Every child out there can achieve anything if there is a willing teacher that will help or support the child. Well done,
you're correct.
So
then the leadership role. See, I've moved from saying yes sir to having to be acknowledged as a leader. Yes, I see it as a great achievement. That means that there's something that I'm beginning to do well. There's something that is changing in me. That means I have moved from a place of what will I call it now? A place of struggling, a place of confusion, a place of not being sure, not knowing what to do, to a place where I can even guide people on what to do, you know. Yes. So that's another one. And then I'm a next generation coach. Like, I like to impact the next generation of leaders. So for me, that's an achievement.
Great. That's a great achievement. And one thing is that no matter what you are achieving, whatsoever you're putting together, the impact of the next generation is actually the big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, the big deal is the generation coming after you, because whatsoever you have now, if you will not train people, if you will not impact people, then you know that trouble is looming, right? because of the generations that are untrained. So I know that there are so many challenges around our profession, so many. Some people will tell you this, but I want to hear your own view of some of the challenges you have faced.
Yeah, so many. One of it is when you have difficult parents, when you have parents who are in denial, you know, they just don't want to, they feel you're tagging their child wrongly, when, you know, it's your profession. Like, you would know a child who needs to be quickly, I don't want to use the word tamed, but somehow, you know, some children go out of place, and then you need to curb them. You need them to put themselves together to begin to behave well. And you're talking to the parents, and the parent is telling you, no, 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 don't say that about my child. My child is well behaved. My child is, you know, you can't even know. I wouldn't even say that about my own children, because when they are with me, they are different. When they are with other people, they are different. You know, so, and because I know that feedback is important, it's something that has helped me over time. So I just want to get that feedback from whoever it is my child is spending extra time with aside me. Somehow they do things that you can't
even imagine.
You just like, is this still my is this still my child, you know? But that's who a child is. And when you have feedbacks, you have comments like that to give to parents, and they're angry, they're upset about it, you know, it makes the job very tough.
Some of them even go as far as ensuring that teacher loses his or her job, you know, because of that tagging. So this is one of the challenges we are facing.
Yes.
And
then the other one is probably the curriculum.
Okay.
The curriculum is, sometimes it's rigid. Then you have some schools just follow suit. Whatever they have written down, that's what they're going to be doing. No. Sometimes you come into the classroom and the mood of the children will change everything. So as an educator, you need to be flexible. You work with your children's energy. Yes, I know that there's a scheme that is guiding. So it doesn't just have to be the book thing. You can bring it out of the book and make it into a story, make it into a song, make it into something so much fun for the children, you know. It's about them, not about you.
Not about you. Not about you ensuring that, oh, there's a list of topic I'm supposed to cover, and you cover everything.
It's beyond that. Then again, most of the time, schools do not connect teaching with real life events. See, mathematics is not yet mathematics if a child will go into a supermarket and they do not know what to do with money. English language is not yet English language when children cannot listen and comprehend. When they can't have a simple conversation with other people, listen, comprehend, and give reasonable answers.
Can't narrate events around them.
Then English language does not happen. You know, creative art has not happened when the child can't extend it beyond the classroom. Every other thing, ICT, name all the subjects. So you're talking about agriculture, and then it's just about copying off the board. Excuse you.
Like, the child is supposed to go home, at least do some
There has to be planting, there has to be nurturing, there has to be watering, there has to be harvesting if possible. You know, there are simple things that children could just plant, and then they begin to see it happen. So for me, teaching and learning has not taken place until there's there are evidences. The children
until we are in that place. And I think that is what school owners, like teachers, should embrace this, that teaching should just go beyond the book and paper. Let's take it beyond the classroom. Oh, you are teaching the child plant. In fact, the generation we are in today, there are so many things they don't know. In our days, you see plants around you, but imagine Lagos, even to see flowers in some places, it's difficult. So that's why parents, teachers, school administrators, all of us are working together, and this thing, you know, the practicality of whatsoever we are teaching the children is very, very important. And we should take note of that.
Yes.
So right now, ma'am, do you still have anything to say? I think I don't want to rush you.
Good.
Yeah, but from all that she has said today, there's one thing that struck me so well there. This is feedback and its power. Feedback has a lot of strength. So feedback can be negative, it can be positive, but for parents, for teachers, in fact, I'm so inspired that you said, feedback that helped you when you were a cleaner to become a great teacher today, that makes you become a madam today. The same feedback can actually help everybody. And teachers, somebody told you are not doing this thing so well, I think you shouldn't just be upset about it. Go and learn. In fact, life is even easier now. You don't have to go to Jakonde library or whatever. Your fingertips, you can learn anything. And this is a call to everyone that you can actually be a better person with feedback. That is my take home. There are other things you can actually learn from this session, but that is my biggest one for today. So, ma'am, what would you say to somebody out there? We have young people. In fact, some people, their parents are even telling them, go and study education. Never. I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor. What would you say to that person today?
All right, young people. Okay, so I would just say that teaching profession is not totally a profession. It's a ministry. So it's a privilege if you're ever going to be a teacher. It's a honor, because you're working for God. That's it. Whoever works with children works for God. We can't even be paid, so that's it. There was a time I too ran away. Yes, even though I knew it was my place, I knew it was my calling, but I ran to the bank and I came back because I didn't have peace. Every time I see children misbehave, the voice I hear is, that's the place I've sent you to. That's what I've asked you to go and do. So I had to come back. I came back and everything God promised, He has done. Or rather, He's still doing, So I would encourage you that it's not a profession to run away from. You're building lives. You're molding and shaping the next generation. What do you want to leave? That should be your legacy. That should be something you aspire to become. Someone who impacted lives, you're sowing a seed. So it's not a waste of time. It's not a waste of destiny. Teaching is not. You can teach and actually grow rich. You can teach and become wealthy. It's just about our mindset. We already, somehow, educators already have a particular mindset, like teachers are not meant to be rich, or teachers can never be rich because of our salary. But that was then. So what are you doing with your networks now? What are you doing with yourself? Are you growing? Are you expanding? Do you meet people? Do you connect with other people, other educators, even other people in other professions? There are opportunities everywhere. So don't just sit back and keep complaining. Look out, look inward. You can write books. You can connect with people online. You can teach online. You can have programs for children. You can do a lot. There are a lot of things that are attached to this teaching profession that you can do, and you make good money. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Adesola.
You're welcome.
This is a lot, and I'm sure that anyone who watches this today, we know that there's a place for you in the teaching industry. You have said a lot, and I don't even want to add more right now. So go and digest, right? So thank you, Ma, for coming on the show. Thank you for impacting life. What you're doing, I keep telling people that when you touch the lives of children, it's just like changing the nation. That's how I see it. Nigeria is bad. This country is bad. What is happening with the children? The same politicians or whoever the leader is that we have today, they were once children that were left untrained, that were left unattended to, that had that had bad character and some values that were not supposed to be, and nobody corrected them. So thank you for changing lives. Thank you for impacting lives, and we are grateful to hear your story today. It's touched our lives, yes. And I know that so many people, because of your story, will become a better person. And Ma, on behalf of myself and my team, yes, we are giving you this. It's a token of our appreciation to you. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Don't stop now, and we pray that God preserves your life so that
Amen.
generations to come will still remember you for your good work.
Amen.
So we are giving you this as a
Thank you
token
so
of
much.
our appreciation to
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much.
So thank you everyone for staying through today. This is Teachers Gist with Wumi Wealth. Like I said before, is a platform for teachers, for every lovers of education. Like you want your country to change, you want your environment to be a better place, then tune in here and stay with us. So follow us on Instagram at Teachers Gist with Wumi Wealth, and on YouTube, watch out for every of our episodes. There's always something to learn. So right now we just say bye for now till another time.
Bye-bye.